Colonel Richard Hecht, the international spokesperson for the IDF, the Israel Defence Force. Thanks very much indeed for speaking to us here on Sky News on what must be an incredibly busy day. First of all, if you can give us the very latest figures in terms of casualties, both killed and injured at the moment, as you have them.
So I think the word busy is a problematic word. I would say it's a bit more than that. It's been a very severe day here for the IDF. And I just heard the Palestinian spokesperson talking about Palestinians being killed. The IDF does not kill intentionally civilians. Have had a severe morning, which started off with multiple salvos coming into the state of Israel, firing sporadically in order to kill anyone they can kill. When we go after targets, we go after military targets. Not only that, a ground attack that was started at the same time, coming through the land, coming through the sea, which you mentioned before, on boats, and also coming through paragliders, carrying terrorists, carrying munitions, carrying people into Israel, into the surrounding communities to come and kill civilians. Now, again, we're not going to talk about the numbers, but looking at, they didn't go after military.
If you can't talk about the numbers, can I just ask you, Hamas has just said that they are holding multiple hostages, possibly up to 100, and they have also said that they are holding senior officers. Can you confirm if senior officers are being held, and you have any officers from the IDF missing?
Well, I can't confirm that right now. The only thing I can confirm is the IDF is, as we speak, fighting and engaging in multiple communities around the Gaza Strip in order to achieve back the security of these communities. There's families hiding in houses, people that have been abducted, people that have been killed. I don't want to talk about the numbers, but again, they went after our civilians. They went after our civilians surrounding Gaza. So a very harsh
It's
warning.
clearly an horrific situation. You mentioned there people trying to come in by sea. We understand that Israel's naval forces have intercepted dozens of Palestinian militants by boat. Can you tell us more about that?
So they try to basically saturate our defenses, also from the air, also from the ground, and also from the sea. They were coming on some Zodiacs and some boats, and the Navy intercepted some of them, and actually also some of them got through. Again, we're still learning what happened there. It's been a very chaotic day, and we're still fighting as we speak.
Earlier, we were speaking to Sarat Zahavi here, a former Israeli intelligence director, and said that Israel is always looking at capabilities and intentions. Clearly, something here has failed if there has been such a massive attack from Hamas, from Gaza into Israel.
So I'm sure that's an issue that's going to be talked about a lot once this is over. As the IDF spokesperson, something I don't want to focus on right now. All we're focusing on right now is getting the security and saving lives right now of civilians that are under attack.
Right, but I have to push you on this, because clearly this is an intelligence failure. Or did you know this was coming?
I prefer not to comment on what happened there. We're talking only about right now, talking about getting back. And again, we've been attacked by Hamas, who basically every single day says that they want to annihilate Israel. They've been firing, they test, there's always been sporadic fire. So it's an ongoing thing. I mean, I'm an old soldier, I've been in this for years. This is not something new. So again, we'll learn what happened after this event, but right now we're focused on fighting.
Right, so there clearly needs to be an investigation after this unfolds. And as you say, you are in the middle of this attack. How are you managing to curtail those? Have you arrested or held yourself any of these militants?
So right now, these militants, they're terrorists. They are people that came to kill Israelis. By the end of the day, we hopefully, all people that came into Israel, they will be dead. That's our goal. I'm not going to be nice about it by arresting people that came and killed families, abducted people. Our goal is to, by the end of the day, bring the situation back as it was. There's some.
So you don't intend on holding anyone and arresting anyone. You intend on killing them on site. It's a shoot to kill order in Israel, is it?
No, absolutely not, Seema. They came, they started, they're killing. We are now engaging in fire with these terrorists that came through. If someone surrenders, then it's a different ballgame. But right now, they're firing at us.
Right. Sorry, I was just trying to clarify because you said at the end of the day, you intend for all of the militants who targeted Israel to be dead.
Anyone that was firing at us and trying to kill us, we will neutralize them. Absolutely.
Okay, and can you tell us about the area that you are having to have these ground battles at the moment? Where have the militants managed to infiltrate, and how are you addressing them?
So that's right. We've mobilized. This is happening in the Gaza division. It's a division size force, which is basically deployed along the fence. Right now, we've mobilized more forces because these terrorists have infiltrated settlements and communities. We've mobilized special forces that are handling these very, very sensitive situations. You can imagine there's also hostages involved, and it's being handled directly with our special forces, and we're trying to solve it without having our civilians killed.
And how many IDF forces are out there right now by land and sea at the moment? How many are out there trying to? We understand that, of course, Prime Minister Netanyahu has also called up reservists. How many forces do you have?
So it's in thousands. It's in thousands. Again, the people that are handling the events are special forces inside the communities. There's a number of communities which we've already been cleared, like Kerem, Shalom, Sufa, Magen, but there's other locations like Zikim, Nahal Oz, and all other communities, which I won't go into all the names because it's not that relevant. We're still engaging in firefights, also in Jderot. Just one more thing to mention, we were very thankful for the Minister James Cleverly's comments earlier today on the support of Israel. Important to say.
And I want to go back to those hostages being held. I know that the Israeli network N12 is saying that at least 50 being held in the Be'eri kibbutz. Hamas are claiming they have senior IDF officers who they've captured. Can you expand on how many hostages you believe are being held and how concerned you are about the hostages being held?
So as I said before, that in multiple occasions right now, we're engaging with terrorists that are entrenched already in some of our communities. And beyond that, it would be irresponsible on my behalf to go into the details because it's still ongoing. But Be'eri is one of the locations, correct. Kibbutz Be'eri.
Are there any other locations you'd be able to share with us? It's important for people who are watching to understand if their families are under attack or to understand what's going on the ground.
So all the area surrounding the Gaza Strip is basically, as I said earlier on, is under attack. Jderot, Ofakim, Sufa, Nahal Oz, Zikim. Names that are probably not that familiar to the British public, but all these communities are right now under attack, and we're slowly handling it.
And what about the West Bank? What's the situation there on the ground at the moment?
So we are very focused right now, also looking towards the north. I mean, we remember what happened in the last Ramadan, where there was also some factions, Palestinian factions that came in. It would be better for them not to do that. But we're ready also towards the north. And we're also looking at Judea and Samaria, making sure that things there stay under control. The IDF is basically prepared in all arenas.
And I want to ask you about the wider situation, because Hamas are saying that, and you were saying, Hamas have daily attacks and are constantly targeting Israel. They say that Israel, and particularly utilising the IDF and the police force, are constantly targeting Al-Aqsa. What is the situation as things stand today at Al-Aqsa, which is also, of course, a sacred site for Israelis too and Jewish people?
So Al-Aqsa actually, during the last holiday, it was open for all worship. We are promoting freedom of worship for all religions. I wouldn't make that connectivity, although Sinwar and the people in Hamas always try and make that connectivity between the Gaza Strip and Jerusalem. When you look at what happened right now in the last window of holidays, Al-Aqsa was pretty calm. People came and worshipped, and it went by okay. Of course, Hamas want to try and manipulate and pull in the IDF based on what happens there on the mount. But when you look at what happened on the ground, it was pretty quiet.
And finally, we've already seen airstrikes. The Palestinian Ministry of Health says that 198 people have been killed and 1,600 injured. Will there be more air incursions into Gaza in the coming hours?
We are planning a very severe response to this inhumane activity that happened this morning. Again, we'll be focusing mainly on Hamas targets. And again, the IDF is composed and planning its future steps in Gaza. This is something that is very, very serious, and we're taking it very, very seriously.
Does that mean we're likely to see a ground invasion or incursion into Gaza as well?
That we're ready for all options. Our Prime Minister and the Cabinet will decide based on options the IDF presents to our leadership.
Does that mean you are now preparing your troops, though? I understand the decision is for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. We have been reporting here on Sky News that he has already met with the cabinet. Are your forces now preparing for a potential ground incursion in retaliation into Gaza? You've said all options are on the ground. It sounds like you're preparing.
I won't talk about the IDF's operational plan. We are planning for all options.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Colonel, for joining us here on Sky News. Thank you.
Thank you.